Whatever.
Well, I'm with you, homie.
Okay. The sound of the small thing.
I was born to brew up storms and stir up shit, kick up dust, cost till I slur up spit. Grew up too quick with them too much shit, corrupt, and I'ma pour it on they syrup, bitch.
Alright, this is it, folks. YouTube. We have arrived at the UFC 116 commentary. I have a little white stuff on my face. I cut myself shaving. That's toilet paper. That's all I know to do for that. That's what happens when you use cheap razors. Okay, UFC 116. Did it live up to the hype? Did it live up to the hype? Because it was the most hyped UFC in history. And all I have to say is, yes, it did. It most definitely did. I only saw the co-main event and the main event also, so I have no idea what happened before that. So, okay, so all I got to tell you about is Chris Lieben and Akiyama, and then, of course, the main event. Alright, so let's get down to it. Chris Lieben and Akiyama, 185. Both good fighters, both brawlers. Akiyama's got a lot of judo background and wrestling, and well, Chris Lieben's just been in the gym training hard, as we have seen. 10 days after his last fight, they came out just like we thought. First round, back and forth. Akiyama seemed to have a little bit more energy than Lieben. I don't know. Lieben might have had to cut a few pounds twice in 2 weeks, and that'll take something out of you. But he also might have been just pacing himself a little bit, and I think it helped. I think Akiyama probably got the first round, just barely. Like I said, it went back and forth. It was mostly on its feet. Whenever they were on the ground, Akiyama was able to control Lieben pretty well, but also Lieben was able to get up most of the time in the first round. So first round, nothing special. They just both fought hard, and Akiyama probably got it. Second round was might have been one of the most exciting rounds in UFC history, just as far as no holds barred, letting everything go, swinging away, both tagging each other a bunch of times. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, these two guys, find it on the computer, find it on the internet, watch the second round. It's just like that one between, it was that WC match with the Korean Zombie. It was just like that, folks, and that's what we like to see in the octagon. Two guys, putting everything on the line, no restraint. Second round, I think Lieben probably got that round. I think he connected more times, but both of them connected a bunch of times really hard. Third round, I think that Akiyama started to fatigue a little bit, actually, and Lieben, to his credit, seemed pretty good, because Akiyama started to try to get it on the ground more, and he did, and he was controlling, he was in Lieben's guard, but Lieben was just as active as I've ever seen anybody on the bottom, with elbows and punches. Third round, that's amazing that he was able to do that. But like I said, he's matured as a fighter. A lot of us, it was suspect, when we first met him, back when he was first starting out. But this guy has matured, and he's showing a lot of evolution. He has definitely evolved in this sport. And so anyway, Chris Lieben was active, but he was on the bottom for most of the third round, and then he got him in a triangle, and Akiyama, I really like the guy, but he was tired, and it seemed like he kind of fell back, and it seemed like it might have even made it worse. But anyway, Lieben got that head, he knew what he was doing, and he knew how to pull it just right. So Akiyama tapped out, Chris Lieben won by submission. It was a great fight. Both those guys, will see him again. Lieben's going to get somebody good next. He's up there with the contenders, whatever that means in the 185 round. Is there a contender? I don't think so. Okay, main event. Let's get right to it. They both come out there. They didn't touch gloves, no show respect like that. But if you watch the fight, you got to admit there was never a greater show of respect between two fighters for the other fighters when they started. These guys were on their tippy toes. They were feeling each other out. They knew, both of them knew how dangerous the other man was. So first round, Shane Carwin opened up. I didn't think, I had a feeling that he could outstrike Lesnar like that, but I didn't think he would dominate him that much. He had him on the ground, grounding and pounding him. And folks, it was close to being stopped at one point. Lesnar, to his credit, I think he tried a quick takedown, and Carwin stuffed it really quick, so I mean that might have discouraged him a little bit. But he tried to stand with Shane Carwin, and you know, Brock is a huge dude who punches hard, but no man can stand with Shane Carwin. And the first round of that fight was evidence. This close to being stopped in the first round, just like all of his other fights. But you know, everybody's got to admit, Brock's got something else nobody else has, and he hung in there, protected himself the whole time, got his face bashed up. You can see after the fight. But he hung in there. They didn't call it. He was protecting himself. He was being active. He was trying to throw punches back. And he survived that round. Barely. So first round, Shane Carwin. Second round, Brock Lesnar did the smart thing. You know, I would have liked to have seen him try to stand up and knock Shane Carwin out. But, you know, we all know what would have happened. The same thing would have happened. He would have just got either knocked down or knocked out and then got on top of him again. So he played it smart, probably did exactly what his corner told him. He took Carwin down, and he had this move, this headlock, and it's much easier the bigger you are, like the bigger muscles you have and the bigger neck you're choking. And he got Carwin in and got on top of him. We saw that freak athletic ability, just being able to distribute his weight. I don't think there's not a heavyweight that can out-wrestle Brock right now. And there's not a heavyweight that can outstrike Carwin right now. But Brock Lesnar did get him in that headlock, and he did find that vein, and Carwin had to tap out. So Brock Lesnar did win the fight. He is the official UFC champion. But I guarantee you there'll be a rematch soon, because Carwin and Lesnar have fought 2 rounds together, and one's gone to Carwin and one's gone to Lesnar. You know, Lesnar got the fight because Carwin tapped out. But I'm telling you, Brock was this close to getting it called on him, getting his face smashed in on the ground. So it was exciting. After the first round, they came out and they did touch gloves. It was just like, okay, the pressure's over, all the angst and all the tension before the fight, that was out. They released it, and they both realized we're two dudes. We you know, we admit the other one is just as powerful as us. We admit we concede that we are not, you know, head and shoulders above our opponent. And so they slapped hands and they got down to it again. But Brock's the man now. He's the man. But Shane Carwin, you know, when you wrestle a freak like Brock Lesnar, he'll squeeze the life out of you. So Carwin's still up there, heavyweights in the world. I'm still going to put Fedor on top because he's even more of a freak and a Terminator type attitude than both of them. And even though they're both more powerful than him, I just think he'd find a way to win. So I'm going to put him as number 1 heavyweight, Brock's number 2, Carwin's number 3, and then you got a bunch waiting right outside the ring. Bunch of good heavyweight fighters. But so heavyweight stacked right now. Can't wait to see Lesnar and Carwin fight again. They got to do a rematch soon. That's it though, UFC 116. I think it's going to be another month before we've got another UFC match. It's going to be John Jones and Matyushenko. It's going to be a fight night, I think. John Jones entertaining, Matyushenko, old school veteran, entertaining, brawler. It'll be a good fight. That's it for the UFC 116. It was great, folks. You should have caught it live. Would have blown your mind.